Good evening. Firstly, I just wanted to say a massive thank you. Thank you to parents and carers and the students, because you have been so supportive and patient with us, but also building that resilience, because it hasn't been an easiest time with lockdown and the challenge that has been remote learning, but also returning to school and getting back into those routines and those high expectations that we have for year 9 has been really challenging. But year 9 have risen to that challenge and really tackled it head on. Within lessons, we are seeing the amazing year 9 that we know and love. They are working really hard. They are asking extremely difficult questions of our staff, which is fantastic. And return to school, we have seen how they've grown and matured over that 3-month lockdown that we had. Their independence and their resilience really has grown, because they had to develop skills that normally students wouldn't be learning until about now, when it comes to revision and understanding what they need to do to be successful, and learning those independent skills and those resilient skills and supporting themselves with that revision. They've already started doing, and we have seen a massive change with our year 9s and their maturity with that. So the skills that they have developed have been that independence, that resilience, asking for support. And something we've talked about throughout year 9 is making sure they understand who their support network is. They have their family, they have their friends, they have school and their subject teachers, and they need to seek that support out. And lockdown really did help year 9 do this. So well done, year 9. They've also developed their managing their time and just so many other skills. And we've seen that maturity really develop, and it's been lovely coming back to school and seeing that. While times are still a little bit uncertain at the moment with COVID, what we are doing is pushing ahead with the work experience, because our goal is to ensure that year 9 have the best opportunities. So we are acting as best we can as if things are normal, and we are putting things in place with regards to year 9 exams and work experience and everything else that goes along with that. With regards to year 9 exams, what we have already provided for students is a revision timetable, which they were given not long after they first returned to school, and they were given time within tutor time to complete that revision timetable. Within that, they need to include their actual subjects they want to revise, their homework time, chores around the house, but also time to relax and be teenagers, seeing friends or hobbies, football, if they play the piano, whatever it may be. It's really important to book these things in. We've also given them a revision topic list. Those subjects didn't supply that. Students have been asked to speak directly to their teachers, because there'll be a reason for that, and that can all be found on It's Learning. We have also provided them with an exam timetable, which again is on It's Learning. And what they do need to do the week of the year 9 exams is, yes, they are coming for their year 9 exams and must have their equipment, but they also need to come prepared to revise. There are opportunities throughout that week where there will be in a lesson or a classroom. It won't be taught lessons. What will be expected is independent revision. So students need to come prepared to do that. Either bring revision materials that they've already created, or bring the equipment they need in order to create those revision materials. Because again, the stuff that they create now, those revision materials they create now, will be used for the year 9 exams, but moving forward to year 10 and year 11 also. So they're not going to be wasted. It's really good that they keep these and use them over the coming 2 years. We've also supplied students with an equipment list, and what I would suggest is over the next couple of days, our students and parents sit down and go through that list to make sure that they are prepared for the year 9 exams. Some things that students tend to forget, for example, is the clear pencil case, because we need to be able to see through it to make sure that everything's okay. They need to make sure they've got a scientific calculator. If they bring a water bottle to the exam, please make sure the label is removed, because there can be no writing brought into the exam hall. If they have a fancy watch, as I call it, that can connect to phones, calls, things like that, that can't be allowed in the exam hall. So if they do need a watch and they like a watch with regards to their timekeeping during the exam process, please support them by getting them like a bog standard old-fashioned watch that we would have had at their age. And the list goes on. So it's just about making sure that students are prepared, because that will ease and reduce that stress. The year 9 exams are put in place for several reasons. Number one, with any given year, we would do year 9 exams, and the exam papers are there to see what students know, where those gaps in their knowledge are. With COVID, it is a bit different, because obviously the teaching time has been reduced. However, we aren't worried about that. Year 9 are doing fantastically. So what we are doing is, after the year 9 exams, students will be able to look through their papers and be able to see the bits that they excel in and that they are confident in, and the bits that they aren't. Teachers will use this knowledge within their lessons to look at revision and future areas of focus, but also students can use this knowledge for their areas of focus when it comes to their revision. The Year 9 exams are also really good because we then are able to experience those exam routines. So lining up outside, being prepared with regards to uniform and equipment, entering the exam hall and sitting in that exam hall with hundreds of other students, sitting in the exam, the timekeeping that comes with it, managing invigilators and distractions within that area, and all those other things. And for those students to get extra time or scribes, it gives them that opportunity to practice that also. The goal of the Year 9 exams are for the Year 9 pupils to be prepared. Over the next 2 years, they'll have other opportunities like the Year 10 PPEs, the Year 11 PPE exams, and then the Year 11 GCSEs. And what we want to do is give them as much experience as possible over the 2 years so that isn't stressful. We want them to go in and be prepared so that they can achieve their best. We don't want the stress to mean that they don't work and produce the best of their ability, perform to the best of their ability. So our goal then over the next 2 years is to create these positive routines. We tend to have at this point right now with Year 9, 2 groups of students that we're worried about. The first group are those that haven't started revising. Like I said, 8 weeks ago now, students were given a revision timetable within tutor time and the time within tutor time to complete it. So students have been given that guidance, and mentoring was based around that revision as well. So if students haven't started revising now, then that is a cause for concern. And what we would suggest is they start revising immediately. We don't expect them to burn out, but they can do an hour a day. A lot of the independent learning tasks right now will be based around revising. So that is really supportive. But also, even after the Year 11 exams, it is good to get into the routine of continuing that revision, even half an hour a day, an hour a day, because building up that positive routine will be beneficial over the coming 2 years to be as successful as they can be. The other group of students that we are concerned about are what we call the burnout students. And what we have done is look through your year group to see who we are worried about. And these burnout students are the ones that are working above and beyond. Yes, we do want them to excel, we want them to revise, but what we don't want them to do is start Year 10 burnt out because they have overworked and tried too hard and therefore just don't have anything left in them. So what we need to do and what we are concerned about is one of the 2 groups, and we want them to make sure that they have got the routines in place because we are now training for this marathon. And this marathon takes place in 2 years' time, and in 2 years this year group will be leaving St Paul's and moving on to sixth form. But this marathon means that we need to be putting that training in place. We're not sprinting, we're not trying to cram it all in. So we're putting those revision plans in place. We're trying to manage that stress and that workload. And if you do have any concerns, then please do let us know and we will see what support we can put in place. Some key dates moving forward then. Wednesday the 16th of June is the date for the work experience forms to be handed in if you are organising your own work experience. This is extremely beneficial this year, particularly because COVID is a bit of a challenge and we don't know exactly how that will affect moving forward. So if you are able to make your own work experience placement, that is really positive and really supportive of us, but also your own child. The next important date is Monday the 21st of June to Friday the 25th of June. That full week Year 9 will not be in their normal lessons, they will be off timetable because that is their Year 9 exam week. So they need to come prepared with that list of equipment plus their revision that they will do within their guided revision lessons and the timetable they've already had, so you can have a look at that with them. And then the other really important date moving forward is the actual work experience. There's 2 weeks in January, so Monday the 10th of January to Friday the 28th of January. Students won't be in school, they will be attending their work experience placements. And what we find is this is really, really positive because over the course of the coming months and within those 2 weeks, students are experiencing real life. So for example, very soon, students will be making phone calls and sending emails in a professional manner to their work experience placements in order to start this process going. And we are going to give guidance about that. And even just learning these little things are big things for our Year 9s because they've never had to do it before. And then within that 2 week, working in the real world with other adults in a very different environment to what is school, we see the maturity develop with Year 9, and it's really, or what will be Year 10, I should say, by that point. And it is really lovely to see. If you have any queries about any of these things for work experience, you can speak to Mr. Winter, and there's his email address. And then any other queries can come to myself, Miss Adeyemi, or Miss Hartwell. You've also got the form tutor and mentor to contact directly. And our goal is to support you through this over the coming months because it is interesting to see all the things that are going to pop up and challenge our Year 9s. But year 9 have been doing amazingly within the classroom. We're very impressed with the way they've returned to school. As always, within the classroom, they're working extremely hard. So keep up the excellent work, year 9, and we look forward to seeing what you achieve with your year 9 exams. Thanks very much.
Hello, thank you for listening. My name is Paul Winter, and I want to talk about the planning and the process for work experience for when the current year 9 students are in year 10, and this will happen in January 2022. Why do we do work experience in year 10? Well, we think that all pupils should be able to have encounters with employers and employees so they can better understand what the workplace is like and maybe help them thinking about future careers. Although the work placement does not have to be in an area of the economy that the student particularly is interested in. Also, we think that students should understand the context of work, things like the hours and working with other people, and we think that there's plenty to learn in the workplace, things that we can't always do in school. Work experience takes place for 2 weeks starting on Monday the 10th of January 2022. We're encouraging all pupils to work with parents and friends to find their own placement for work experience due to the current context of the coronavirus. Own placements need to be in by Friday the 18th of June so that we have time to process these forms and to risk assess all the placements. We will be using the Develop database for those who cannot find an own placement form, but this might be limited this year. But I'll talk a bit about that later. On Monday the 14th of June, we are explaining to all students how to use the Develop database. You need to go to Develop, Learn About Work and click on the website. When you then click on the Work Experience section, you will need to click on the link to Milton Keynes Schools and then put St Paul's Catholic School on the drop-down box. Enter your student name and PIN number exactly as it says on the letter that is being given out on Monday the 14th of June. When you've done that, you can then search for jobs that are near to where you live or by types of job, and this is very helpful if students have got some idea of the areas that they would like to work in. You just need to be patient and it works quite well. You can save a first and second jobs and go from there. As I said, we're explaining this in school to the students how to do this next Monday.